Hi everyone, my name is Abiodun Moronkeji. I'm a certified digital marketer, a professional graphics designer, a revamped stimulant. I've been doing social media for almost a decade now. I started using social media for individuals and businesses as far back as 2009. And also, I provide thorough and skillful support to executive firms, individuals, and SMEs. So today we're going to be talking about leveraging digital media for endless business opportunities. Why I actually brought up this topic is the fact that we all know that the use of digital media in this age is something that can and should not be taken for granted. Considering the fact that some months back, the COVID-19 there was COVID-19 lockdown all over the world. So every business had to adjust and go online. If the goal of every business is to make profit, so how do you make profit? You simply make profit by selling, and it's either you're selling a product or you're selling services. And if you're selling services or a product, you're going to need people to buy your products or your services. And as more people come to your store to buy your product or services, it means increase in sales, which is equal to more profit. And of course, we all know that the goal of every business is to make profit. So it means indirectly, when you're making more sales, you're automatically reaching the goals of a business automatically. I can define digital media, as getting to reach your customers on a platform where you don't really have to interact with your customers one-on-one. For today, we'll be talking about social media, the use of social media. When I mean social media, I mean Facebook, I mean Instagram, I mean Twitter, I mean LinkedIn, to mention a few. YouTube. And we'll be talking about websites. What are the advantages of having a website? Why should you have a website? Is it okay for you to have a website and all that? So these are the things that we'll be talking about today. Let's start with Facebook for social media. You can actually use Facebook to build a personal brand for yourself, but my focus for today is Facebook for business owners. So let's say you have a business, you have your store, or let's say you don't have a store yet for your business. Creating a Facebook page is another way of harnessing Facebook. Getting crowd from Facebook. You see, on all the social medias we have, Facebook is still the most active of all social media. Till now, Facebook has over 1.5 billion active users on Facebook. When I mean active users, I mean people that are steadily active. So why don't you tap into that power of Facebook? From there, you can draw a lot of crowd. When you create a page is attached to your profile, and from there you can invite all your friends to like your page. And you can still tell your friends to invite their friends to like your page. So let's say you have 2,000 friends. Not all your friends will actually like your page. You have to accept that. So let's say out of 2,000, let's say eventually 500 liked or subscribed to your page on Facebook. Now, those 500 are your loyal friends. Or let me just say your loyal subscribers. Let me put it like that. So now you have 500 active subscribers on your Facebook page. Now you can lure or you can indulge your 500 subscribers to invite other friends. But we're going to be talking about, creating content for your audience too. Let's say out of your 500 subscribers, you realize that the dominant subscribers are music lovers, or let's say your dominant subscribers are sport lovers. But you are not doing sports. You are not a musician or a music creator. What you sell is food. You only sell food. You only sell fruits, or you sell clothes. But you find out that the people that like your page don't really talk about clothes, don't really talk about food, or they don't talk about what you're selling. So now you need to find a way to create content based on their interests. There's this thing about content creation that no matter what you sell, no matter what you do, creating good content is the key for every business. And when I mean creating loyal content, you have to create content that consistently match the goal of your company and the vision of your company. And at the same time, you have to consider the interests of your audience. Further, we're going to talk about getting more subscribers or getting more page like on Facebook using sponsored ads. You've been able to distinguish or get to know the kind of content that will appeal to your customers and at the same time meeting your business goals. How do I post so that the right audience actually get to see my content? Your paid insight is like your assistant, it's like your assistant, or let me say your goal book, because it lets you keep track of the kind of content your audiences are actually engaging in. And when you're actually looking at your insights, especially on Facebook, we have something called impression, we have something called reach, and we also have something called engagement. So you see, for me, whenever I look at my page on Facebook and I see like 3,500 impressions, and I see like let's say I see like 50 engagements, and let's say I see like 4,500 reach on Facebook, you see, your impression, in my own terms, I define an impression as the highest number of people that have actually seen your content. And while I use engagement as the possible lowest number of people that actually took time to view your content. Whenever I scroll by your posts or whenever I scroll by your content, it counts as an impression. So let's say I scrolled by your post 200 times. I personally can give you like 200 impressions. While engagement is the actual number of people that actually took time to either like, comment, or engage with that particular post. The specific accounts that video actually reached is what, or that video actually got to, is what we will count as reach. So reach does not specifically means people that are on your audience, or people doesn't actually mean people that are your audience or people that are your subscribers. It actually means both people that are your audience and people that are not your subscribers. I always tell my clients these two things. Whenever you're planning to create sponsored ads, especially for Facebook, before you think of creating a sponsored ad, And okay, let me say, what is the goal of a sponsored ad? Actually, the goal of a sponsored ad is it can actually be to increase brand awareness, and it can also be to increase sales. So you have to know your goal first before you can design design a content for your sponsored ad. Now you now have to determine, now based on the goal I want to reach, what kind of content can I create? Is it going to be a still kind of content? I mean, when I mean still, it could be pictures, it could be graphical content. Is it visuals? It could be, when I mean visuals, I mean video. It could be video, it could be motion graphics, it could be GIF, and still you can still have multitude of graphical content in carousels. But you have to have a goal in mind whenever you are planning to do a sponsored ad. Depending on your budget and depending on your goals, sponsored ad nowadays is not expensive with less than 2,000, 1,500, 3,000, depending on how far you want your sponsored ads to reach. Now, like I said earlier, creating a goal in mind, or having a goal in mind before creating a sponsored ad. Now you need to determine who are the people I want to reach with this particular content. Facebook has a wide demographic of age, between male and female, between ages of 18 to I think 65 and upward. Now you need to determine, okay, which of these places would I want my ads to reach? Who are my target audience? Are they the people in my community? Is it the people in my state? Or is it people that are not in Nigeria? You see, that's one of the powers of digital media. You can actually create ads. Probably you are in Lagos. You can create ads to somebody that is in Port Harcourt. You can create ad for a demographic of audience in Port Harcourt, a demographic of audience in Ibadan, a demographic of audience in Lagos. Depending, like I said earlier, depending on your goal and your audience. If the goal of your audience is, I'm in Lagos, but my store is in Ikeja or my store is in Ojodu, but I want customers from Lekki, how do I reach them? You can actually reach them by creating posts organically, but for you to get faster results, you can do sponsored ads and put your target audience location to Lekki Phase 1 or Lekki, and select the environment around Lekki, which could be Victoria Island, which could be Ikoyi, which could be Aja. Now, your ad is actually running, but you find out that you are actually not meeting your goals. So what should we do, or what should I do? You can always go back. I hope you know you can always pause your sponsored ad, and you can actually re-strategize. So now you successfully ran your first ad on Facebook, and you actually got an extra, let's say an extra order from Facebook, just because you actually ran your Facebook ad to a specific number of audience or a specific audience demographic. There's something called retargeting your audience. Now, how do I okay, let's say I actually run this ad for a period of 2 days. So now, and I actually saw that my posts or the content actually got, let's say 3,000, or let's say up to 10 or 20,000 impressions. But out of the 20,000 impressions, I only got 5 or 10 or 20 people to actually order my product. Now, sometimes it could be that the people that actually got your products right now are the people that are actually interested in buying your products right now. Now, when your product actually appear in front of your target audience more often, there is every tendency that they could actually buy. Me as a business owner, and you are focusing on taking your brand globally, I will tell you to harness the power of Instagram to showcase your business, especially if you're selling something that is extremely visual appealing, like food, like books, like clothes, like luxury real estate, like cars, just name it. So as I said earlier, creating good content is key to keeping your audience and getting more customers. And when I mean audience, some audience could actually just love the way you post content and want to learn from you. And some audience might be your customers. So even the ones that are actually learning from you, if you keep creating good content, they can actually recommend you to their friend. Oh, I know this guy that sells sneakers, and I like the way he posts about sneakers. Even me that I don't love sneakers, I might eventually wants to buy sneakers from him because of the way he posts contents about sneakers. So indirectly, you have actually someone has actually done the marketing for you. Why? Just because you've been creating good content, and somebody is just in love with your content. Every piece of content you actually put online should drive your customers down to your website. The website is a magazine, and it's like your online store, like your storefront. At the same time, it allows visitors to see you in the virtual space so that they can make particular assumptions and create a given perception about your brand. So if you are a big brand, or either if you're a big brand or either a small brand starting up, it doesn't matter. But if you are a brand with a global focus, or you are a brand with a global perspective, you need to understand that having a website is extremely crucial and important for your business. Your website is often your first impression you give to a potential customer. Now, because that customers will see them and form an opinion about the business based on the website quality and how attractive your website looks. So, as I said earlier, having a website is key for your business. Either you are a startup or you've been into a business for a while. Now, if you need somebody to actually create a very good website for you, I can actually do that for you. I can create a very beautiful and engaging website. I feel I've made you see reasons why you should leverage digital media for endless business opportunities. You can follow me on Instagram at Abiodun Moronkeji. You can follow me on Twitter at grandhype_ng. You can also add me on LinkedIn at Abiodun Moronkeji. So just click on the subscribe button below so that you don't miss the content. So whenever we put in content, you'll be the one to get it first. So thank you. See you in the next video.